Hello, John.
Hello, Areg.
What do we have here? We have Age of Empires 2 HD Edition.
Oh, shit, dude. Look at all those fucking empires, man.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of them, but let's go back to the menu. Age of Empires HD Edition. And this game's available on Steam. I picked it up because I love Age of Empires, and I used to play when I was a little kid. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah, dude. Right in middle school. That was my life.
Yeah, man. So we're actually just going to set up a casual old standard game. We're going to have a couple of AI opponents. And we're going to dive right into it, just the regular old Conquest, real-time Age of Empires RTS, and see how we hold up.
Perfect, man. That honestly sounds fun.
And
already, dude, I'm greeted by beauty.
Off we go, man. Here we go. I just have to start controlling everything. We start off with 3 villagers here. You know, in fact, I'm going to go into the options just real quick, and I'm going to up the speed of the game.
That's a smart move, man. Honestly, this game, though, it just seeing this screen alone brings back the memories of just pure joy, dude. And you know me, I'm not an RTS guy, but damn, dude, I love this game a lot. This is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Just in there, you know? It's in my top 20, if not top 10.
I mean, this was the very beginnings of RTS for me. It was one of the very first RTS games I ever played, along with Warcraft 2. So my love for RTS is founded within Age of Empires 2, man.
Dude, just the amount of fucking pixelated graphics that permeate the screen right now just gives me a boner, dude. I love it. I love how beautiful it looks, even in that dated feeling, you know?
Yeah, man, it is very nice, actually. If you look at the villagers as they're walking, all the animations for them, as old of a game it is, it looks pretty clean and smooth. The horse riding and everything.
So what you're controlling? This guy's just he's not a military unit, is he? He's a scout?
He's a scout cavalry.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So yeah, he does have an attack. He has if you can see here, it's 3. So attack melee bonus of 3 or whatever, right? So he does 3 damage, I guess. He's very useless. He's only good for scouting, honestly.
That's good to know. It's funny because like in a game, let's say like Civilization, right? Which is obviously different than this. It's a turn-based strategy game. But it's funny because you actually have to work up to animal husbandry and taming horses and having cavalry and stuff. Age of Empires just gives you at least this one unit straight out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of assuming that, you know, your people aren't complete fools. They know what they're doing.
Right. Right. So, I mean, every scenario can start a little different, but this one in particular starts us off with a town center already built, a few villagers ready to go, and a scout. Some scenarios don't start you off the same way. Some scenarios start you off with even more than that. But I like playing standard, so I don't like having too many resources in the beginning. Like, as you can see on the top left are our resources.
Yeah.
And they're just sparse, you know. There's only enough to do just a little bit. And here we discovered a couple of sheep. So there's animals out there in the world that if you discover them, you can control them. And I send them back to my village. As you can see here, my villagers are going crazy on that one sheep.
They're just like fucking going nuts, dude. They're just going ham on that. They want food. They may as well be cannibals, dude, if that was a human. Like.
Yeah, pretty much. You can see the sheep has this much food here, 22, 21, and it's counting down because my villagers are harvesting it. Yeah, so once it reaches 0, they're going to move on to the next sheep. These guys don't know what's in store for them.
So let me ask you something, man. Are you micromanaging a lot of what's going on at this juncture of the game, or do you feel like there's a lot that's automated? Because I'm looking at it, and there's a lot that's just going on without you really having to deal with it. So
right. So basically, once I set my villagers to do something, like let's say I want them to harvest that bush, he's just going to keep harvesting that bush. He's going to keep harvesting that bush until there's no more bush left, and then he's going to try to go find the next nearest bush to harvest, and he's just going to keep doing that until I tell him to do something else, you know? So right now I'm going to get this guy to build a mill, because as you notice, my little guys that are harvesting the food from the bushes have to walk all the way back, like this guy.
That's annoying.
To deliver the food. And in a real-time strategy game, that stacks up. All those seconds that he takes to get back add up throughout the game because he does so many runs.
Right. So you want to minimize that, I'm guessing.
Exactly. So the whole thing about RTS is to try to be fast and minimize the amount of time it takes to get resources to build units. So with this mill right here, they just have to walk towards the mill to deliver my food. So I get food quicker, and every villager I make requires 50 food, as it says in the tooltip. So we have 143. So making just a couple of more villagers in the queue, and we're suddenly out of food. And now we need more food.
And yeah, of course, you need more food. You need to explore the area around you. And you can use your villagers to do that, right?
Yeah, I can use my villagers to explore. Oh, check it out. So an enemy scout.
Oh, what the hell? Can you wreck them? No, your scout's not even nearby.
Yeah, my scout is just going to scout on his own. Oh, more sheep we
Nice,
discovered.
dude.
Very
More
good.
food, as we were just saying.
Yeah. So it's a delicate balance.
I love the fucking the music, the voice acting in the game, dude. Yeah. Dude, that
Yes.
scout, bro, he's
I
getting
love
into
it.
your town center like he owns it, dude.
He's checking out some of my shit. I can't really do much about it as of now, but you know what? Let's make a barracks.
Yeah, bro. Just start out strong, you know. But this makes total sense, right? In the span of like world history, let's say you see some random scout from another culture checking out your place. Yeah, he doesn't mean harm. He's just looking at it. He's seeing what's going on. He's learning about it. But then you build a barracks because you know what? I don't
wanna be
like
safe.
that, dude.
You wanna be safe.
You don't know if that scout's gonna one day lead to something much greater.
Of course.
As a threat.
Of course, better to be safe than sorry in an RTS game. So have some sort of military, have some sort of defense. And we're actually running out of housing, so we're making another house here. Very good.
So let me ask you something, man. You played a lot of modern RTS games, like let's say StarCraft or less StarCraft 2. Less
Yeah.
modern would be like Warcraft 3, but I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit more advanced than Age of Empires 2 to some degree.
Of course.
And I want to ask your opinion on what you think about, like, in terms of the controls, the styles of comparison between those kind of games, because it's a genre I'm unfamiliar with, but at the same time, I do know that in games like this, it's very much about tight controls, fast pace, and you want to be able to make split-second decisions as fast as you can and see the reactions play out, right? So
Exactly. So it's all about having more control, and a lot of the control rests on one idea of having control groups. Oh, check it out. We discovered a dock.
Oh,
so our
can you
opponents,
own that, or
No,
what is that?
our opponents have already made a dock.
Oh, what the hell?
It's the Japanese. The
Japanese.
Japanese.
Kenshin, dude.
Yeah, dude, they've already constructed a dock. So actually what I was saying was a lot of it rests on control groups. So when you select a bunch of units and I hit control 1 on my keyboard,
Okay.
it sets all the units I've selected to group 1, control group 1. So from then on, if I hit the 1 key, no matter what I have selected, it's going to select all those units I had control.
That's awesome.
Right? So a lot of modern games revolve around that. Excuse me. A lot of modern games have a lot to do with how easy it is to form control groups, how many control groups you can have, how many units at a time you can have selected and actually have full control over.
All right.
And I think Age of Empires 2 does a really good job at that. I can have my control groups. I can have formations on the different units I have selected. So that's one thing that modern games don't do anymore. They don't have different formations for your combat units.
Interesting. I feel like that would be an intuitive part of how you deal with an RTS games is that if an RTS game is that if you have a certain group or a demographic, you want them to be styled a certain way
Exactly.
or act a certain way different from other demographics that you're controlling. So it's odd that modern games don't do that or emphasize that as heavily, and Age of Empires does.
Exactly. So before I get into that, if you'll notice, all these guys that were collecting bushes, there's
Yeah.
no more bushes nearby, so they're
Oh.
just standing idly by.
That's cool though. I like finite resources. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of games do it, but it's nice. It's nice to see.
There's definitely finite resources in Age of Empires 2. And let's say I have these guys and I have no clue that they're idle, right? I don't know. Let's say I'm doing my stuff over here and I'm curious. I have a feeling my villagers are idle somewhere, but I don't know really where. I can click this button over here and it takes me to the idle villagers, and it just cycles through all the idle villagers on the map. So yeah, in case, let's say I'm not sure, maybe there's a villager not doing something somewhere, I can just make sure all my villagers are working.
Does something like that exist in StarCraft 2?
Exactly.
Or
So
does something like that exist in even maybe a new Age of Empires or
so
in
no,
other games?
No, they don't. In fact, a lot of modern games don't have that kind of stuff because you don't end up losing your workers because it isn't so vast. Like there's not that much to be going on screen for you to lose track of what's really happening. But with Age of Empires 2, man, there's a lot going on. Like you were asking me, do I micromanage a lot of it? And yeah, I do. Every villager has to be like balanced. I have to be paying attention to my resources and make sure I'm not getting too much of any one resource. Like right now I noticed we had a ton of food, so I actually used all the food or most of it to start upgrading to the next age in the game.
Oh, very cool. Which is what? Feudal?
I believe so, man. I don't know off the top of my
Very
head.
nice.
But we've made a couple of military units here. Here we have just militia, regular old militia, the very first basic unit that we can make. So when I have these guys selected, I'm going to hit Control 1. Then I'll select my villager, and then I'll just hit 1 and it selects all of them again.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
And
if
they
you-
could be anywhere on the map.
Anywhere.
Let me ask you something. Let's say you have your villagers targeted and they're doing their own stuff, but you say, okay, I want to go focus on my soldiers now who are across the map.
Yes.
Is the camera gonna go to those soldiers that are across the map?
If I double tap my control group, yes, just like I did right now. So check it out.
Oh, very cool, dude. So you double tap 1 basically for
Exactly.
these guys.
Exactly.
Very awesome.
Yeah. So once we get a few more of these, you'll start noticing how the formations come into play. So if you look at the bottom left here where the menu of the guys are.
Yeah, I see that.
So they actually have stances. So aggressive stance means any enemy. Oh, we just upgraded to the next stage.
Very
All the
nice,
buildings
dude.
changed. The architecture. Actually, the architecture.
Oh, it is the feudal age. Look, it's even
Yeah,
says it.
it
Yeah,
says it.
cool.
Actually, the architecture is dependent on the civilization you're playing. So
Of course.
different civs have different architecture to their buildings, which is very nice to have in an old game, right? To have so much diversity.
Yeah, dude, it's like a nice variety. You always get something new, and I'm sure like people, I love the Japanese architecture more than like let's say the Celtic architecture.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna play Japanese or whatever, like-
Exactly. You feel more at home with one type of civ than another, right? And yeah, these are civilizations. So here, actually, we need more gold. So I'm going to make a mining camp.
Very good, dude.
Over
I've
here.
been eyeing that camp for a while now. I'm like, damn, dude, I want to mine that shit.
Yeah. and one thing I used to do when I was younger playing this game, I actually ordered my females to do certain things and my males to do other things. Even though there's no difference, they can all work the same types of jobs. As little old me, I would always have the women doing farming and food related activities, and I'd always have men doing the mining and like the hard labor sort of activities. Just
That's so funny,
naturally.
dude.
Yeah, it naturally just felt the right thing to do. Like when I made the women do this and I would watch them as a little kid, I would feel bad for them. I'd feel like, man, that's not fair getting forcing a woman to do that kind of job.
Backbreaking mining.
Yeah, I feel
gold
like
or
that's
whatever.
more of like something the man should do, whereas they should do easier things like, tending to the farms.
And man, tending to farms is fucking hard. Have
It's-
you ever tended a farm? I don't think it's that easy, dude.
It's not that easy, no. But visually, it just seems
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
yeah,
nice.
for sure,
So
dude.
as you notice, these guys I had, the militia, they were trying to chase that little scout. It's because they're on aggressive stance.
Oh, well, okay, let me ask you something. So, in Civilization, let's say, again, a different kind of game completely, but
Yeah, keep going.
you basically come to a point where you have to make declarations of friendship or you have to declare war or what have you.
Right.
In this game, does that exist? Like, do I have to declare war? Like, your guys were just following aggressively a scout. Would
Yes.
they decide to just kill it without you?
Yeah,
Without your
if they're on
interference?
aggressive, yes, they will. There is
Oh.
actually diplomacy. So the game pauses when I open the diplomacy panel here, and you can see that I am able to try to ally with people. I can actually be neutral with them if they would so like. There's less diplomacy here than say Civ 5.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
This is actually a very like cool, tight system. Like you just click the thing, and I'm guessing if they disagree, it doesn't work or something.
So I can be allied with them, meaning my units will not attack them, but they don't have to be allied with me.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
Right.
And you don't know if they're allied
Yeah.
with you or not allied with you. That's the way the real world works,
Yeah.
I guess, to some degree. Like,
Yeah. So just
What,
to be safe, we're gonna
watchtower,
make
huh?
a tower which will attack our enemies
I
once
love
they get close.
watchtowers, man. I remember you could upgrade these things.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Stay real nice and safe. So actually, let's check out some of the stances these guys have, or not the stances, but the formations. So as you notice, default formation is the line formation, and they're very closely
Packed. And,
Yeah. So they're just standing. I'm just gonna click the staggered formation,
haha.
and you see what they just did?
Yeah.
The square formation.
Yeah, dude. Can you do custom formations, or is
flank
that
formation?
not something
No.
capable in this? Okay, for sure.
And then now they're in a flank formation. So this is one group, but they're gonna flank from two sides when they attack.
Very cool.
Right.
So
So
you would have one group, let's say, in the square formation, but then another group in the flank, and they
Perhaps.
almost count as two
Yeah.
in some way because obviously they're flanking from different
Yeah,
sides.
indeed.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, so we can upgrade our guys to man-at-arms. So when this finishes, all of our guys will actually pay attention, are going to switch in the way they look visually.
I will pay attention to that right now. What's your scout doing while these guys are upgrading?
Oh man,
very
I have
quickly?
so much micromanaging at the moment that I simply cannot pay
Even
attention
in-
to my scout right
I got
now.
you,
Yeah.
man.
I just say fuck it. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
there you go.
yeah, dude, I see it.
They just switched to man-at-arms. And then any new unit we produce is going to be a man-at-arms from now on.
Dude, I love it, man. This game the music, the energy of it. And it's funny because, you know, technically in the grand scheme of like the way that this game works, you're not necessarily doing too much right now. It's not too chaotic. You're able to really have a grasp of things. You're focusing on your one area. You're focusing on your one village, right? And I mean, it's not like you're going crazy, like you're controlling a battle while dealing with your villagers. While being attacked.
Sure.
But the music is just getting you pumped, getting you energized.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable to listen to while all this is going on.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it definitely gives you a sense of immersion. Like, you really have to be on top of your shit. And it seems like I'm not doing much, but it's because I'm missing things. It's because there's stuff I'm not doing that I should be doing. You know what I mean? If like a professional player was playing this, there'd be a lot more that they're handling that I'm just letting
of course,
it go.
Dude.
Like, if you
We're
notice
having a
my
nice
resources,
casual combo, you know?
Yeah, if you notice my resources, I have way more wood than I need. So I would have, if I was really trying to win this, I would have gotten some of my wood guys off wood and maybe gotten some stone. Like, I have no stone, and I can't make any more watchtowers without stone. So I don't even have stone scouted out near me. You know, so there's like
there's some right
stone,
there,
which is really far.
very far. Yeah.
So
So let's say so you see that stone very far.
Yeah.
Could you make something that deals with that stone right up next to it, and it's
a mining camp?
Got you. So it's not so much territory; it's whatever you can stake is your land.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And you leave it vulnerable or invulnerable as you prefer.
Right. So it's more of a risk to go further out, especially if I'm making towers back home here, right?
Gotcha. And that's why we saw those docks earlier. Just we don't know where that civ is, but perhaps their docks are just far away, and it worked out for them. You know.
Exactly. You never know. So I'm sure they're building up some sort of army. Here we discovered some more gold.
You got a nice rich outset,
oh,
dude.
And here we
stone.
go. So I can actually throw down a mining camp right here in the middle.
May as
both
well.
Of them. Yeah. Oops. There you go.
So what is it like? You're the one playing this, and you're the one dealing with all the trials and tribulations of its controls and its age. How does it play in terms of like right now? You know, I see you when you click on a unit. There's so many options on the bottom left.
Yes.
You know, is that easy to navigate, or is it something that like if I'm not used to it and I'm trying to go back to it, am I going to be overwhelmed? Like, what do you think?
No, I think it's relatively easy. I mean, when you have military units, you get one set of options. This entire row over here is just their stances. So basically what you want them to behave like when you're not controlling them.
Yeah.
And the bottom row is all the formations. And the front row is just their different moves abilities, like follow another unit. You can straight up just kill your unit. You can garrison your units within buildings. So that's actually one thing that modern RTS games have shied away from, being able to garrison units. Just the idea of garrisoning units. I think it was a very fundamental idea to a real-time strategy game, especially one that you go through the different ages in the world, like medieval ages. You want to be able to garrison your units for safety, dude. It just seems like something natural to be able to do.
Is there any bonus from garrisoning? Like, do the units get a bonus, or maybe the building itself gets a bonus?
Some buildings are able to shoot more arrows and attack because you have more units garrisoned in them. Your units become protected. You'd have to kill the building before you can get to the units, right? So you can keep certain units safe. You can reserve certain units for later. You can have like an entire squad of military units garrison in a building that your enemy does not know. So you can ungarrison them and attack spontaneously.
Immediately, yeah.
More kind of strategic elements come into play when you have these different layers.
Yeah, that seems very intuitive to me, man. I don't know why modern games would shy away from that, because garrisoning sounds like a fun...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is the streamlining process.
A bit. More of the modern strategy games are a lot more streamlined, man. This one, there's so much to do. There's so much strategy involved. Like, right now, we're really just doing very minimal things. We're only building units from the barracks. There's actually the archery range.
Oh, what the hell?
We just killed
You just killed a scout.
We killed a scout, yeah. As he was running by my guys, they swung him a few times, and then the watchtower finished him off.
I wonder what this fool was thinking, man. It's the feudal age. You can't just go willy-nilly.
Yeah, so as you can see here, we can make an archery range, stable for horses, right, and mounted cavalry units.
Gotcha.
We can make stone walls, and I can actually just encase our entire thing in wall. Our entire village in wall.
I'm assuming at some point the walls are obsolete or become obsolete, right?
Not really, man.
No?
I mean, at some point, like when my enemies can have trebuchets and shoot over them, sure. But even then, they deter enemies. Like, they can't just waltz into the middle of your village and start killing your villagers that way. You know, they have to break through the wall, or they have to find some alternative route that you've left open, perhaps.
Is it possible to go to the next stage fairly soon?
It is. We can check what we need for it. So 800 food, 200 gold. We have it. We'll just queue that up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Castle Age or whatever it was called.
Here we have a blacksmith, yeah. and we're just gonna start upgrading some of our units. So actually, let's do forging. It's gonna give our infantry and cavalry +1 attack.
Very nice. I always love to see +1s and +2s in games, dude.
Indeed.
It's the D&D nerd in me, man. So like the longsword +1.
Indeed. So we have some archers and skirmishers we can make here. Let's just make one of each, I guess. I feel like at this point in time, our army is quite small compared to what our AI compadres are probably storing up for us.
Especially when you killed that one scout, man. I don't think people forgive that kind of thing.
No, I guess they're going to remember that for quite a while.
Through the ages. Through
the
of their empire, dude.
Indeed. I'm actually running out of population space, so I got to make some more houses here, man. Let's see. Do we have any villagers? Oh, yeah, these guys got to do
Make them
stuff.
on the bank, you know? Like everyone wants like a nice beachfront property.
Oh, that's right.
Riverfront property.
That's a good point you got there. Let's make some more of those beachfront properties.
I like it, man. It's you know what, this game like it's a very stark difference from other games because you know I played StarCraft 2 with you.
Yeah.
I play Civ obviously, which is again a different game, or a different genre. But those games always seem very busy in what's going on, and this is so aesthetically simple, and yet there's so much density and depth packed into that simplicity that it's very appealing to someone like me who, you know, I don't want to be overwhelmed visually when I'm looking at playing a game or dealing with a game. It's all right there in front of me, laid out, and things are very clear, even in this pixelated look. So
indeed. No, I hear you, man. I mean, look at this. This looks really good to me.
Yeah, it looks like a legitimate, like, cool village, town, city, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Civ.
man.
It's chilling.
It looks very nice to me. I'm having a whole lot of fun playing this game and coming back to it now and then again. Age of Empires 3, man, I don't know. I feel like Age of Empires 3 shied away from a lot of cool stuff that they did in Age of Empires 2.
Perhaps, man. I mean, and there's a lot of controversy around Age of Empires 3 specifically because, I mean, the developer that dealt with it was under EA at the time.
Oh.
And I mean, they got, you know, it was the whole buying out, and EA
Right.
probably pushed them to do X, Y, and Z. And,
Right.
and it kind of felt like they had a vision. It was definitely an effort of love when I played Age of Empires 3. I love that game. But it didn't have the same kind of homeliness or the same kind of coziness that this game does.
Exactly.
It felt more, as you said before, mainstreamed or
More
streamlined.
yeah. You know, they make it easier for someone to get into an RTS that is not an RTS player, you know? And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't completely agree with doing something like that, man. I feel like RTS games need to stay true to what RTS games are about. And if people don't like RTS, they don't like RTS. They play different genres, you know, trying to, you know, open the door for people that don't typically play RTS games to start playing them by streamlining the RTS genre altogether. I don't think that's a good idea, bro.
I agree, man. Like, there's definitely a case to be made for streamlining other genres.
Yeah.
But it's always felt to me like RTS was a very hardcore type of game, hardcore type of game.
Genre, yeah.
Yeah, and you just don't see that anymore, and it feels like you know, I mean, now modern day modern day RTS games are basically in the realm of indie developers and people who want to get back to that spirit. But you saw them go the way of MOBAs, and you saw them go the way of other genres now, and it's more streamlined, more simplified. You don't really get this Age of Empires 2 like grandiosity anymore.
Right.
You don't get that, and it's a true shame. This because to me this is a true treat. Like right now, as I'm watching and as I'm commentating on it. So
Yeah, man. It's really fun. It's very fun. Like, look at that. This is the square formation now.
Put them in the flank, dude. Let's see what they're all about.
Here's the flank.
Yeah. Oh, so interesting. So you have an uneven amount or number of cavalry units, but they split up unevenly. They had to in your flank.
Yeah, they
That's
split
cool.
up however they find to be the best way to split up.
Very cool. Now that's a nice process I can get behind because a lot of games automate things without too much justification. But something like that being automated feels to me like a good decision because I don't know. You
that's
don't wanna,
something
you
I
don't
don't
want to
wanna-
deal with
yeah,
like
no.
yeah, bro. Like on the right side, there's two
Yeah,
cavalry on the.
That's
yeah,
too
who
much.
cares? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's already bordering on a little too much micromanagement. Maybe they have the option open, but when you're creating the game, you can just uncheck that option if you don't want it. You know, I'm fine with however this is. I think the formula that Age of Empires 2 delivers is a fantastic RTS formula. There's a huge learning curve. Obviously, you can do a whole lot better than what I'm doing right now. I'm playing super casually.
Yeah, of course.
You know, not really paying attention to what I need to be doing. I have way too much food right now. that I'm not
Why don't
really
we
utilizing.
send that little army of yours out and scout and
I think
mess
so,
with
man.
some people? You know?
How about we go kill this dock over here? I
You
don't
know
like how
what?
close it is.
Good idea, dude. I don't like no docks, dude.
Let's do it, man. It's gonna take some time to actually travel there,
That's fine.
which is fun because
Realistic and it's fun. Yeah.
yeah, and also if you want to see a little something cool, so notice how slow they're moving, right?
Right.
Let's say I select only my knights.
Gotcha.
Look at how fast they're moving.
Yeah. Oh, so it always moves as your slowest move
Exactly.
unit in a large group that way.
So actually breaking them up is a smart decision in case I want to move my cavalry faster. So I'm going to designate them to control group 2, whereas all my land units here, the infantry will be control group 1.
Okay.
So I can move them separately, and I can scout ahead with my knights a little bit so I know what's in store for my infantry when they arrive.
And that's not even complicated micromanaging. That's very easy, down to earth micromanaging. That's
Yep.
someone who isn't versed in the genre like myself.
Yep.
It seems very simple. You just
Yep.
scout ahead with your guys. And
I'll tell you right now, I hit 2 on my keyboard and I right click, and then I hit 1 on my keyboard and I right click. Then I hit 2 again to go back to those guys, and so on and so forth. So here's a ship. Oh, here's a couple of units.
Oh, shit.
Here they come.
Oh yeah, dude. The first battle, the first blood has been shed.
First blood has been shed,
Actually, you shed it before on that scout, sadly.
and it
but-
looks like a lot of blood is about to be shed.
Oh wow, this guy's just coming from the fog. Like, no, what the hell?
So it looks like we're getting wrecked a little bit here.
It looks like it's a little bit even, but it looked mostly in their
No,
favor.
it seems like we got absolutely overrun here. And as I was saying, so samurai, just a fuck ton of samurai he has in store for me. And
And they all just jumped like at a moment's notice, and
Yeah.
they all came from that direction. So now you know where he's
I
at.
know where
though.
he's at.
Yeah,
He's
you're
somewhere
very
here.
informed. Yeah.
Yeah, and now that I'm informed, I feel like it might be a good time to give us a little bit of a boost.
Oh yeah, is that
You
so?
know, I don't think I'm doing good enough in this game to survive anymore on my own.
You know what, man?
So I need some divine interventions here.
Let's do that. Let's see. I think you should type, "How do you turn this on?"
How do I turn this
You.
on? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you
How
gotta
do
ask
you
it, dude.
turn this on?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know, man. What is that?
What's
A
that?
Cobra
oh,
car?
It looks like a Cobra car.
Let's get a couple more of those.
A
Maybe,
couple of more of
yeah,
those.
Why not?
Okay, let
Let's
me
get like one or two
how
more.
Do you turn this on? Can I select this and just copy paste it?
I don't know.
Oh, it looks like I can.
Oh, goody, dude. Now, if you want to ask the question truly of does this game hold up? It holds up simply due to the fact that you could copy paste in the game itself, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I want to
Truly.
see how these samurais. Oh, look at the bodies on the floor.
Yeah, dude, that's
Let
a nice
the bodies.
touch.
Whoa.
All right, well, that doc got wrecked.
Okay.
I wonder if this guy is going to retaliate in any meaningful way. I mean, does he even know what a Cobra is?
I'm not sure, man, but we're definitely gonna go up against this Japanese army here with the Cobra cars and see.
Wow, he actually, I mean, you took out a nice chunk of his army in that skirmish, man. On it, like, he doesn't seem to have like that many more, which is a nice. Oh well, yeah.
Those are some monks he has. The Wololo.
Wololo,
Wow, look
Wololo.
at this guy's town, man.
It's nice and.
Whoa, he
compa-
has a
Wow.
huge castle.
Dude, look at the way the farm and the castle, and it looks like a straight up Japanese like
yeah.
village.
Notice the Japanese buildings are different looking than ours.
I like that a lot, dude.
Our town's just gonna die off. Wow, man, he's actually doing some damage to one of our Cobra
This
cars. with
castle is taking a beating.
Look at its HP going down.
This castle is taking a fat beating, dude.
All right, well, we're gonna let our Cobra cars handle Japan. In the meantime, what else can we?
You know what? Is there anything that is usually built very slowly? We can build it almost instantaneously back at your town.
There is, in fact, actually.
Let's do it, man.
Let me see if I have enough materials to build a castle. I do have it. Yes.
Perfect, dude. Then what you're going to want to type is Aegis.
I typed that in. Let's place our castle right here. Boom.
There you go, dude.
Instantly.
Just instantaneous cat. I wish life was like that, man.
Let's build another one.
Let's build a ton of. Why not?
You know
dude?
what? How about let's build 1,000,000 castles? Can I give myself stone?
Let's see, dude. I'm going to look that up as we speak. Let's see. You want to give yourself some
look at
stone?
Japan. Look at what happened to Japan.
Oh, wow.
They're done for.
Damn, dude, that sucks. And you're the Britons, you're not the Americans, huh? So that is
Yeah.
kind of inappropriate. If you want to give yourself more stone, it's rock on, space in between.
How much will it give? Oh, okay, that's
1,000.
enough. So what we'll do here is
Just line everything up with castles, homie. Rock on an Aegis, dude. Rock on the Aegis.
I just want to make sure Japan knows who's boss here, you know? Oh, we're out of stone.
Oh, give yourself more. What a life this is, dude.
All right, let me send some more of my villagers to finish the job here.
What a life, bro.
There you go.
You literally destroyed them all, and you're just building castles en masse
Yeah,
on top of the burial grounds of their people, dude.
look at that mini map. Oh, look,
What the
someone
hell
has
is
a lot of
going on here,
ships.
dude?
Who is this? The
Persians,
The
dude.
Persians were amassing a huge navy, man.
In the river? Okay, man. I don't know about all that.
Well, that could have really done me in if
I
they
could
came
have
over
done
here.
some of it in, yeah, for sure.
Oh, wow, look at this guy's cavalry army. So we were definitely going to lose this game if it wasn't for some help from the Cobra cars.
Bro, sometimes you just need a nice cobra.
Look at
to
their little
attack the
animations.
to attack the possums, you know?
That's fun. So we have a bunch of castles up now.
Fuck, dude. When did this happen?
We can actually get them all to build stuff for us. Yeah, let's do it.
What are they building? Longbowmen? Just spam that shit, dude. That's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, so we have a lot of longbowmen now. Like a lot of them. And we're just basically going to roam around with these longbowmen.
And
enjoy
see
ourselves.
and see to the, annihilation of all peoples that are not the Britons.
Yeah, man, look at that.
Britons.
That's a nice range. I love how the arrows travel. You can even see the shadows.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. You know, the one thing I will say that I really loved about Age of Empires 3 in comparison to Age of Empires 2, and this is an obvious thing because
I know
obviously
what you're
it's such
gonna
a
say.
The physics,
Yeah.
bro. The physics in Age of Empires 3 was like boner.
buildings
like,
getting
so
destroyed.
Beauty, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Everything about it was very appealing in so many ways.
I agree.
And obviously, you can't have that in a pixelated game like this, and an
Yeah.
isometric pixelated game like this. So,
But that's one improvement.
yeah,
Like,
it is a big
yeah,
improvement too.
yeah.
And I think, if I ever saw an Age of Empires 2 just remastered in such a way, I know this is the remaster or
Right.
HD edition, but if I ever saw Age of Empires 2 remastered in such a way that included the Age of Empires 3 physics, but didn't change much else or anything else,
Right.
that would
That
just
would
win me
already be
over.
really good.
It would be
Yeah.
a huge leg up on.
I believe so. So, you know what, man? I'm pretty tired of this. I just want to win. What do I type to just kill all my opponents?
You that, dude. I will tell you
Can I
that
just-
as we speak, bro. You
What-
wanna do in everybody. Is that your
I just-
final call?
I want to win this now, man.
You want to type in Black Death?
Black Death, huh? Oh, we won! You are victorious.
Very nice, dude.
Our enemies have died. Oh, and it shows us the whole map.
That's cool. I
So,
like that a lot.
yeah.
Oh, that was a nice river. And dude, just as a final note or whatever, one of our final notes, the maps in this game are very cool.
They are.
They're very nice, very fun to deal with, and I'm always surprised at the end when you see the entire thing, actually how the layout was and where everybody was spaced.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to have occupied like a little hemisphere or
Right.
stratosphere between the rivers,
Yeah.
separating them.
Indeed. And we can see all the buildings got destroyed because we typed Black Death, but we can still see the units mid-death animation, actually. They're all mid-death
So,
animation.
very nice.
When you click them, it says what they are. The
Game
Elite
over.
Chukonu. Yeah. So, yeah, we were going to get absolutely steamrolled if we didn't use some cheats. As you saw, it seemed like I was doing okay, but the AI was doing so much better.
And this is standard. So, I mean,
This
this is not an easy game, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, it can get very hard. Just like a real-time RTS game should. And that's all there is to it, man.
How would you say this holds up at the end of the day, man?
Honestly, man, I really do believe that Age of Empires 2 holds up. Like, if I want to sit down and I want to play an RTS game right now, and I played Age of Empires 2, I would get my fill. I would be satisfied. It would feel like I'm playing an RTS game. There's nothing that happens during the game that I say, oof, I don't want this to happen, or I wish this was fixed, or this isn't cool anymore. Everything is really cool. In fact, things happen where I say, man, I wish modern RTS games still utilize
And
it.
we touched upon a lot of those facts too, like the garrisoning, for instance, and things like that. So, damn, I mean, just having watched it, and I know I played it when I was younger, I would give you the same verdict that it does definitely hold up.
Yeah, a lot of new RTS games can definitely learn from Age of Empires 2 and these old RTS style games.
I love these graphs, dude.
Yeah, the graphs are the great statistics,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Being able to see all these stats at the end of the game. You know, right now we have the most points, obviously, because we cheated. But ideally, we would
Are
be
you
able
sure,
to
man?
reach this level. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining me, John, for Age
Bro,
of Empires 2
thank
HD
you.
edition.
Yeah, man. That was
See
fantastic.
you guys next episode.
See ya.